Ooh, what did we just watch? Okay, so Banyana Banayana just lost to Tanzania 2-1. And it's disappointing. The result is disappointing. However, it's a reflection of the game. It's also a reflection of women's soccer in South Africa. You know, you cannot under maintain, not support, not properly manage something as sports, as particularly group sport, right? It will show. And I feel like as South Africans, as the South African football community, we've gotten used to Banyana Banyana delivering despite, right? It's not a thing of they're delivering because they're given the necessary resources. They're delivering because they're given the necessary support. They're delivering because they've been set up for success. We've gotten too used to Banyana Banyana delivering great results despite systemically setting them up for failure. And that is the unfortunate reality of this team. But today they weren't able to pull off the magic. And it's for many reasons, due to many factors. What I saw a team that was disconnected, very what's this, not communicating, at a point where they communicated when they were probably like scolding one another, but when it was a matter of communicating to attack, they were not communicating to defend, they were not communicating. Sorry, I'm tired. So it was a very disconnected team, disjointed. Passes were not making it their way to the what's this, the desired player. In fact, let's put it this way: passes were weak in that they lacked the accuracy and speed and power to be what can be considered a effective pass. Shots at goal, oh my goodness. I think all of our strikers missed clear chances today. And that's why I'm saying today was not a good day out for us. You find our forward players are missing chances that ordinarily they would not miss, right? We've gotten used to them being clinical, and today they were everything but clinical. There were chances here and there that were created despite everything that was happening on the field, but we couldn't connect. We couldn't convert for I don't know. Eventually we got that one from Bane, which for me is also like, yes, wonderful. When we get a set piece, everyone goes up to go attack, you know. So it's in such opportunities where our defenders are able to score. Karabo Dlamini was overlapping well. She was making the passes. One pass created a clear chance for one of our forward players who missed. I do think though, between Karabo Dlamini and Lebohang Ramalepe pressing up to the, I don't know, the amount of time they pressed up and their delay in coming back to assist with our defense was really one of the causes of our downfall today. because you see a Mbane and Gamete combination in the center back, and it is just disjointed. You already see from the first goal, from early on in the match, that Tanzania is trying to catch us rather on the counter attack, and they are realizing that because the left back and the right back have pressed up, we are only left with two defenders who they themselves did not appear to be working well together. So that was our defense today. With regards to our goalkeeping department, with regards to our goalkeeping department, better could have been done. There were certain decisions that were made to come forward, obviously come forward and close the post and press the attacking player. However, the recovery to move backward was a little bit delayed. There were certain balls that were making it through. There was a attempt that Andile made to try and punch a ball that resulted, like, somehow between her punch and the Tanzanian player's header, the Tanzanian player won the header. And for me, I felt that, well, from a spectator's point of view, it looked like an easy read, but the jewel didn't go in Andile's way. And, lucky for us, we were not punished for that particular one, but it is one of the goalkeeping decisions that for me did not look as solid, as convincing, as as decisive as they should be, and I think as effective also. But moving on to our middle field, both the defensive side of it and the attacking side of it was not working well. Defensively, Refilwe Jane appeared to be behind majority of the time. And whenever Tanzania would attack, Refilwe Jane appeared to not be assisting with the defense very well. There seemed to either be a delay or just being left behind in terms of speed, really. And in terms of our attacking middle field, it was busy. It was so busy. There were so many passes. Again, this is the department where I say passes were being made, but they were easily intercepted. They were not making it to the intended player. They were not given sufficient power, to aid a fast pass. And we lost balls in between these passes. So Linda Makalo, Nokolo Kasane, and Mudle Salgado, they were very, very busy, but their busyness did not translate into us progressing forward. Their busyness did not translate into us looking any more dangerous, right, than we would have been without those passes. In fact, the many passes that they had at some point felt like they were delaying the progress of the ball. Like we were not effectively counter-attacking because it was one pass after another. And by the time we try to then find a forward player, Tanzania has already recovered. So our middle field really, our attacking middle field really was busy. They did get the ball. They did make the passes. However, it was not attacking. It was not aiding us in being a threat. It was in fact so busy that instead of us ending up looking dangerous, we would end up being dispossessed of the ball. And dispossessed of the ball, then Tanzania is on a counter-attack. So our attacking middle field needs to really think about that, think about working effectively in order to advance the ball forward. There were balls that were played into the box. Still not convincing. And then lastly, our forward players. I know Hilda Magaya is coming off an injury, but still, the chances that she normally sinks, she didn't sink today. Tembira Tlane, at some point, there's certain plays where a pass could have been made for a better chance to score, and she decided to go for it. There were moments where going for it would have made sense, and it was not packed with power. Our forward play, it felt like they were passing the ball to the Tanzanian goalkeeper. The Tanzanian goalkeeper caught so many of our shots without much effort. It just seemed like our balls were lackluster. They didn't have power, they didn't have urgency, they didn't have a desire to threaten Tanzania, to score against Tanzania, and to win against Tanzania, which for me is a bit concerning because of the group, Tanzania is the lowest rated. And again, maybe to close it up, would be then the subs. I think Amkhela Mutau had an unfortunate game. That is not the Amkhela Mutau that we know. Those missed balls 2 times in the box is not the Amkhela Mutau that we know. She delivers, and today that was not there. That was not what we got. Tabise Magia also a substitute. Tabise Magia delivers. Unfortunately, today she again, as one of the forwards, misses a clear chance. So I don't know what was happening today. We were not gelling. We were not intense enough, be it in terms of a fast attack, be it in terms of the strength behind our balls. Really, like, the balls looked so weak. But yeah, that's that. Tonight wasn't Banyana Banayana's night. They didn't have a good game. It wasn't luck. It was just the nature of the game that they played. It wasn't their best. It might just be among their low-ranking matches. And with regards to the coaching department, I really am not a coach. I don't have the credentials, but I really still get stunned when your team is losing against a team that it was projected to win. When your team is losing against a team which it was favorites to, in a match that they were favorites for the win, and your people are losing, your team is losing, and you're still holding on to substitutes until the very last minutes of the game. I don't understand that strategy. I also don't understand it even more when I think from the first goal of Tanzania, prior to that slightly, it was already clear that today's combination was not giving us what we know, what we expect from this team. So I don't understand why the delay in substitutes, why the delay in changing tactics. I don't get it. But it's very frustrating when you're watching your team not having the tempo that you're used to, not having the drive that you're used to, and they are not getting assisted by the 5 subs that they have on the bench. Not because the subs are not good. Yes, there are some subs that made their errors, but it's because they're not being put on, right? So it was a very frustrating match. And in terms of old versus new, today was a combination of old and new. Because when you look at the subs, Donnelly came on, Ludwig came on, Magia came on. Those are the players that you can categorize as new, and they were replacing Katane, they replaced Mkhalo, and so it was Banyana Banyana are still having a old Banyana Banyana and a new Banyana Banyana that is not yet gelled together. Not to blame that only, but even when the match started with a predominantly old school Banyana Banyana, and it was not coming together. So now it becomes a question of what are we lacking, and what do we need to do in order to move forward successfully. Remember, in this tournament, spots for the World Cup are at stake, right? And worst case scenario probably is for us to finish a number 3. And the outing that we saw today was not convincing. Tanzania is the lowest ranked team in our group, and we lose against it being number 2 ranked in Africa. Yes, it's a tournament, rankings don't matter. However, ranking is based on some spectrum or some yardstick of quality. And if you're a number 2 and you're losing against a lower ranked team, then the concerned conversations start to come up. Nonetheless, we have 2 more matches to go, and we stay behind Banyana Banyana, and we look forward to what will come up in the next 2 matches. I hope that this was a horrible start that will give us a launching pad into a better tournament outing. Remember, in the last outing we finished number 4. So if we are improving, we will finish 3 upward. But yeah, I hope the team takes the loss. I hope they see their gaps and they learn the lessons that needs to be learned, and yeah, they adjust and they have better matches going forward. Yeah, guys, I'm so tired. Good night.